welcome back to another episode of God Built This Podcast. I'm your host, Maxine. We're on episode 282. Hello. Welcome to the Friday episode of this podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for telling a friend to tell a friend. Thank you for leaving a positive review. And just a reminder, as I said in the last episode, next week will be no new episodes because of Podmas coming up. Starting on December 12th, we will have 12 episodes, one per day, just in celebration of the holidays. So look forward to that. Podmas is just a 12-part series of this podcast back to back, 30-minute episodes, maybe a little longer depending on my mood. And it's just a little treat from me to you. So look forward to that on December 12th. Let's get into these topics. So I want to start off with this woman who was on a plane recently for a flight. And while they were in air, she decided to pull down her pants in the aisle after a stewardess told her she could not use the restroom. Because, typically there are times when or while you're on the plane, you have to stay seated. Whatever stupid ass reason is that, I am for this woman. I support her. If she has a GoFundMe, I will link it in the show notes. I'm for her because, first of all, there's not enough conversation around people with weak bladders. Okay, I'm talking about men and women, but particularly women. I don't think women get enough recognition for having weak bladders. I'm not saying it's a woman thing exclusively, but there are women, including myself, who struggle with their bladders. Like, I have to pee quite often, maybe more than normal, and definitely more than normal, I feel like, especially during certain periods throughout the month. I realize there's an increase that I will experience in my urination, and it's incredibly annoying, but I have to follow suit or I'll just be uncomfortable in my body. I'll start cramping up because of my bladder wanting to be released. And the thing is, even when I do pee, right, shortly thereafter, I gotta go again. And it's like, oh, you gotta get that check. I have. Like, what are we talking about? I have. This been checked, okay? I'm tired of going to the damn Western medicine route. They don't know what they're doing. They can never find anything. I'm good on everything. I'm negative on anything. It's nothing like, dire. But from what I've just happened to come across on YouTube, there's this guy, not this guy, his name is Pauly Shore. I'm saying this guy, this random, no, like he's a known actor and comedian, Pauly Shore. He was on the Adam Carolla podcast recently, and he happened to share that he had surgery recently for his bladder issues. And this surgery is called Resume surgery. And the reason why it's called that is it's to resume the normal way of urinating prior to having the frequent urination issue that he was experiencing. So that's the story behind the name. And I actually heard that name of the surgery somewhere else before. I just can't remember where, but I've heard it before, and I've heard it from another man before. So I'm wondering, is that exclusively for men, or is there a woman version, or is the same one done for women? I don't know. But the point is, how he broke it down was the doctor would, so the doctor realizes that his bladder, the reason why he has to pee a lot is his bladder is not letting out all of the pee at once. And so that is making his brain realize, oh, I gotta go again. So, anyway, all of that to say, justice for women and men who have urinary issues. Okay, this is not a moment to make them feel bad. It's just our biological makeup is different, and some things move faster than others, and my bladder happens to be one of those things that move faster. A woman stripped naked from the waist down in the aisle of a Frontier Airlines flight, to the shock and disgust of surrounding passengers. The unidentified female passenger on board a Frontier Airlines plane politely said, "Sorry, everybody," before pulling down her pants in between packed rows of passengers and popping a squat on the floor. Now, here's what I'm not going to get too much into detail of things that I've done to release myself, but I felt like for her, she could have done a better job being discreet and open also, obviously, in her public urination. You know, I think with men, they have it easy when it comes to urinate. They just pull it out and find a bottle, they're good. But for women, myself included, there's many women who experience this, what I'm about to say. When we pee, our stream isn't straight all the time. Shit, mine is never straight. It's like it goes around a circle, it crisscrosses, it's doing a damn gangsta lean, like it's doing whatever it wants. And I'm just like, I just want a straight stream. So the probability of us peeing in a water bottle is not gonna work out. It's gonna fall right in my hand, right on my thigh, on my inner thigh, you know, right on my sneaker. It's just gonna look so dumb and embarrassing. So no, that's not a good idea. What she should have done, and especially her pulling down her pants in front of, like, literally, there's a clip of her pulling down her pants, showing her derriere, and kneeling. And so I think about, like, how could she have done this better, right? First of all, shame to the stewardess for not realizing the urgency in this woman. You know, I think, what about for pregnant women? Pregnant women are better excused for whatever it is, right? Oh, because you have a baby in your stomach, you deserve all. That sounds like a hater. No, but my point is, pregnant women are known for having to use the bathroom regularly, well, more than regular. And so there's this, like, past that they have. As for non-pregnant women, there's no understanding or even compassion at all to recognize that, hey, I too have to use the restroom more than usual. Recognize that. So, like, for example, if this woman was pregnant, what would the stewardess have rejected her plea to go use the restroom? Probably not. You know, so this whole arbitrary rule of, oh, you can't use the restroom upon landing and upon takeoff. Why? Am I putting everyone else's life in danger if I really have to go right now? Like, are you gonna have to go back to the damn port? Like, it's not that deep. Let me go. I have to go. So my heart goes out to this lady. My heart goes out to this woman. I feel bad that everyone is making fun of her, and whatever doofus decided to film this moment and put it on TikTok. Like, what was the reason? You know, we get so freaking comfortable with filming everything and putting it online because of the viral capacity that it could bring, the potential of that. And it's just, we don't care about the life of this person who's getting embarrassed and shamed. Now, as I'm reading this article, it's saying, do you know this woman? Email me at yada, yada, yada. And this is from the author of this article at dailymail.com. So just imagine if someone knew this person and decided to email this author, this publisher, whomever, however you want to call her position at this job, and now further give insight on who this woman is and oh, she does this a lot, or like it just makes things even more uncomfortable and embarrassing. Do you think I like having to pee all the time? Huh? And even the whole, oh well, you could, people like try to say, oh well, you could not drink water before it. Shut up. What do you mean? First is make sure you drink enough water, right? First is drink 8 glasses or 8 ounces a day, whatever the fuck. And then now is don't drink too much because you could drown in your body. Don't drink too much because, you know, there's that random case of people drowning from drinking too much water. What? And now it's don't drink don't drink after 8 o'clock because you're going to have to get up from bed, from sleeping, to use the bathroom a lot. When do I drink water? Stop controlling what I put in my body at this point. At this point, whatever happens in my body, my choice. Golly. So anyway, the point is, it doesn't work. Your body, again, if you have that type of bladder, regardless of how much you drink in a day, in an hour, in a couple of hours, you will still have to go frequently because your bladder is not properly releasing the urine as it should. So your mind is realizing, oh, I gotta go again. Even if the stream is super short, you feel like you really have to go. Oh, when I tell you, I know this feeling and my heart goes out to this lady. So justice goes to her. I wish her well. It's just unfair that someone decided to play this and now this is a topic and now it's uncomfortable. But look, what she should have done. Okay, let me get into that. What she should have done. First of all, she should have never been in the aisle. She should have waited as best as she could until everyone walked off, right? You know how a lot of people like to stand up and wait until we get the green light to walk off the plane. Instead of her standing up and waiting like everyone else looking like a doofus, sit down and wait. And considering that there probably is a passenger next to her, considering that she's not in the row by herself, I would say what she should have done was take that L and pee on herself. Like if she really had to go, just pee on herself. And if she had a hoodie on her, immediately wrap that shit around her waist, cover herself up as best as she could. And according to this video, she's wearing dark color pants. So the pee wouldn't look as visible as you may think. One may wonder, hey, I wonder why her pants are wet in that area. Okay, mind your fucking business and walk off the flight, right? Like, why are you looking at me? Stop looking at me. But really, if you really can't hold it, do that. Now, have I done that? No, I haven't done that, but I've done a lot of other things. When I really had to go. Like I either pulled over, peed on the side of the road. Obviously, I took off my pants and squatted, right? I'm not peeing on myself because being that I'm able to. Oh my gosh, Sex and the City actress has died? Who? Oh, child. When they say Sex and the City, they did it on purpose for clickbait because who the fuck knows Frances Sternhagen? Dead at 93. I mean, God bless. But I know what character she played. But they made it seem like it was Charlotte. They made it seem like it was Miranda. Even Shay. Like, even though Shay could go. No offense. Anyway, but the point is, when you gotta go, you gotta go. I've peed in buckets before. Peed in the office. Like, I had to go, and it's more of, well, why did you just go walk to the bathroom? It gets tiring. It gets tiring having to get up every 2 minutes. And if I have the office space to myself, let me get off this because I don't know who's listening. But the point is, I just think we should have more compassion. Not everyone has a regular or, semi-regular Bladder. And this whole, wait until we are 30 minutes off from landing or whatever the bullshit ass reason is stupid. I gotta go right now. Honestly, she's big enough where she could have said the excuse of, I'm pregnant, I really have to go. If anything. But I hope she didn't get banned from the flight or from flying. I hope she didn't get banned. I hope she didn't get any type of demerit on her flight status moving forward or on her passenger status moving forward. Like, that's not right. But, oh my gosh, so in this article, there's actually another example of another woman doing the same thing. In July, a woman was caught urinating on the floor of a plane after complaining that staff had prevented her from using the bathroom for 2 hours. Like, I totally get it. Stop preventing people from using the bathroom. People have to go. Like, you don't know what is going on in my urinary tract system. You don't know what's going on there. And I shouldn't have to explain anything to anybody. If I gotta use the bathroom, I gotta use the fucking bathroom. Like, stop playing with me. Excuse me, I gotta go. Because at this point, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna block off the bathroom? Is that what you're gonna do? Are you gonna block off the bathroom? Are you like, what are you really doing? Did you lock the bathroom door? If you lock the bathroom door, then you ask for me to pee out in public. But out in public, right on the freaking aisle. But at this point, shame goes towards the stewardess, the steward, right? Whoever was the flight attendant, and these dumbass rules. But I just feel like we have to have more converse. Like, no one's peeing on the floor because, I just want to pee on the floor. No, I'm being prevented from releasing my bodily fluids. Okay? And for what reason? There's no good enough reason for that. It's 2 hours? You want me to wait? So this other woman apparently was waiting for 2 hours? That's wild. It's one thing to say, can you wait 10 minutes, please? We're about to get into a steady position in the air, and then that is when we could allow people to go. That's one thing. 10 minutes, then I could do my best, wait, cross my legs, think about something else, distract myself. But 2 hours? No, you asked for it. You asked for it indeed. Okay, moving forward, Diddy, P. Diddy, you get it? Diddy decided to step down from Revolt. He has decided to step down amidst the sexual assault lawsuits. You see what I just said? Multiple. There's been more than one. Cassie really opened the floodgates, and I think everything was strategic probably. And come to think of it, I think Diddy probably knew his time was up, because you notice in the last recent years, he was showing this strong demonstration of being this good guy, this brotherly love guy. I think now his new name is Brother Love, even though these new articles of him has yet to call him as such. But his latest album, his name is Brotherly Love on it, or Brother Love. And in the last recent years, he's been very vocal about being light and love, and he's been giving back the publishing of many of his artists that were on his Bad Boy Records label. So that really says a lot, because for a long time now, Mace, I think probably even 112 at some point, but many of his artists from that label were complaining that Diddy never paid them, and they had no rights to their songs, and they worked like slaves, and they didn't, all of these valid excuse or valid complaints, I should say. And it was very frustrating to see that yet another musical artist is being stripped of their financial wages and not getting any earnings from the work that they put in. So to see in recent years how Diddy suddenly flipped the switch and decided to give the publishing to his artists, that was strategic. I think he was trying to paint this narrative of him being this love and light good guy, and change this perception that has been under wraps for so long, until finally now it has boiled over. So it was definitely strategic. Also, he recently gave $1 million to his alma mater, Howard University. So all of that was all a plan. Look, I think no good deed goes unpunished. Is that the actual phrase? But basically, like, a lot of times when people are being nice or demonstrating charitable acts, you get something out of it, and it's done in a way to really benefit you at the end. Because what is it to you if you give $1 million to a university if you earn more than that, right? If you have much more than that in the bank, you're not really losing much, it seems like. And it's a tax write-off too, so you'll get the money back in other capacities. And same for publishing. I think it was a form of control for him to take hostage of the publishing from his artists. And of course he got the publishing, like he was the one who was the owner of it, so he got all of the dividends from that. But anyway, all of that was to demonstrate this new image that he was doing his best to portray. So for now, things boiling over and him being painted as the sexual assaulter that he allegedly is, it is quite interesting that he is not this genuine, generous man that he has been portraying himself to be recently. In the wake of the 3 lawsuits alleging sexual assault, Sean Diddy Combs has temporarily stepped aside as chairman of Revolt. A statement posted to Revolt's Instagram page reads, quote, Sean Combs has stepped down from his position as chairman of Revolt, while Mr. Combs has previously had no operational or day-to-day role in the business. This decision helps to ensure that Revolt remains steadfastly focused on our mission to create meaningful content for the culture and amplify the voices of Black people throughout this country and the African diaspora. All right, so there we have it. He stepped down. And he's settled with Cassie shortly after she filed against him. Nothing has been said of the latest assaults or alleged assaults, lawsuits that have been filed against him. So we'll see how that unfolds. But that is very interesting to me. He stepped down. What's the future of Revolt? Who knows? But now that he's no longer the face of it, technically, though, when you think of Revolt, you think of Diddy. But he's no longer the face of it, technically. He's no longer in that specific position anymore. Who knows what Revolt will have in store for us moving forward? Who knows if they will have a profitable business moving forward? So we will see, and I'll report on that. So there's this video that I noticed go viral on Instagram, well, on social media in general, of this Black girl who had carbon monoxide poisoning due to smoking hookah in her home. And there is this footage of her and her friends in a hospital trying their best to be rejuvenated from this carbon monoxide poisoning. Now, a lot of people are giving them flack for it because why are you smoking carbon monoxide in your home with the windows closed and no ventilation happening, because that apparently was the reason why she got carbon monoxide poisoning. So some of the symptoms that she experienced were headaches, lightheadedness, dizziness, chest pains, and lethargy. So that's not fun. And I'm glad that she was able to realize something was off, and they decided to take it seriously and go to the hospital. But what's interesting about that is like a couple of days later from that post gone viral, there is now footage of her in her bedroom, it seems like, with hookah yet again. But this hookah is Black owned, and she says she is now smoking hookah better. And the hookah brand is like, that's what she's promoting in the video. She's twerking in her bathroom and totally promoting this. I don't know if it's actually her hookah brand or her friends, but there's a whole promo of it. And it's just like, was this all a lie in the beginning? But in the initial footage, as I'm looking at it right now, she's obviously in the hospital. She's in the hospital. Now, maybe the reason for her being in the hospital is not what she says it is in the video. Because the reason in the video, it says, hookah gave us carbon monoxide poisoning. So we could all make the assumption, based off of what the video says, that she is there because of the carbon monoxide poisoning that she got from hookah, smoking it in her house, right? But maybe that's actually not the case. Maybe that was all part of a marketing plan, and she was just in the hospital for other reasons. I don't know. I feel like we got duped, but hey, at this point, this is 2023. This is about to be 2024 soon. These are things that happen naturally in this day and age. So who knows? But yeah, so she is promoting this, and it really is just a testament to the times that we're in. How about we just stop smoking hookah? Well, that could be one thing. I've tried hookah a few times. I don't get anything from it. I think it's more about the look of it. Like, it looks cool. It's something to do. I think it's really that. Let me just say that. It's something to do when you're out, right? Aside from drinking, you also want to have something in your hand that you could like take from your lips and take it out your lips. You know, get your mind out the gutter. Besides that, but you do want to, and then the smoke sensation, the look of smoke, all of that is a sexy look. A lot of people like the look of smoke, and I get that. I like the look of fire. I think fire is kind of sexy. So, yeah, I mean, so maybe that is the reason why hookah has been so cool amongst Black folks. And I think it's primarily amongst black folks. I don't see white people smoking hookah. Like, I don't see hookah bars where white people are indulging. I don't see that at all. I don't really see, like, do white people hookah? I really don't see that, so I don't know. But yeah, like, that is just what it is. Like, a lot of people smoke it and they don't know exactly what's in it. They don't know how it affects their bodies. So I'm unfamiliar. I've heard there has been so many negative effects, like I guess something about the tobacco in it. Is there tobacco in hookah? Let me look that up. Is there tobacco? I know there's tobacco in vapes. In hookah. Okay, so hookahs are water pipes that are used to smoke, specially made to. Okay, yeah, it is tobacco. I knew there was. Yeah. So it's tobacco that you're smoking via a water pipe, and there are different flavors that you can use in the pipe that makes the experience much more enjoyable. So there's apple, mint, cherry, etc. So yeah, I think oftentimes it's just about the look of it. It feels cool to blow smoke. The charcoal that's burning. Yeah, I mean, let's see. Is hookah worse than cigarette? Hookah smoke has high levels of harmful chemicals. Okay. Yes. These include tar, carbon monoxide, heavy metals, and cancer-causing chemicals called carcinogens. Oh my gosh, yikes. I heard it was not great for you, but I didn't know about all of these factors. So that definitely is concerning. I don't like any of those types, like adrenochrome. Is it no endocrine. If you know, you know what I'm talking about. The endocrine, right? So endocrine interrupters, meaning the type of chemicals that interrupt your fertility, your hormones. I hate that we have to be mindful of that in our foods and in our drinks, but those things are definitely in many of the things that we consume. So I definitely want to be mindful of that more. But so maybe that is a part of the reason why hookah is not great. I think so, considering that they have so many harmful chemicals. I assume that is one of the chemicals too, probably. Because if there's carcinogens, I'm sure around the corner there may be some endocrine interrupters. But yeah, that's a lot. And yeah, a lot of people are addicted to it. I think hookah has a chokehold upon the Black community, and at this point, we have to a chokehold, a stronghold, all of that. We gotta do our best to break free from that spirit. My God, today. So Tyla, so you know Tyla, the one who sings, make me sweat. Make me hotter. Okay, so that little girl, who actually is very, very petite, very small. And you know what? I know she's a real person, but doesn't she look like an AI? And I hate that we're even in a time, society-wise, where that's even a question to pose. But there are a lot of Instagram models, and I'm using the term lightly here. Well, I guess it's not too lightly. It's on Instagram, but I mean, hey, we're in 2023, so I guess it's not lightly because Instagram modeling is a real profitable career. So I sound like I'm hating. Let me calm that down. Anyway, she looks like an AI. But yeah, a lot of these Instagram models are fake. Like, they're not real people. Yes, there are real Instagram models who have fake bodies. That's one thing, right? But they're like actual flesh and blood. They're human beings. There are Instagram accounts of models, of women in particular. There probably are male versions, but there are Instagram AI models. And it's wild because these models, they have a bunch of followers. And I think they're following a couple of people too. And a lot of people are engaging in their content. And it's the weirdest thing because a lot of people who follow them may not even know that they're AI. And some of them may very well know. Some of them may very well know. And this is also a kink that some people have. Some people are into fake stuff. Like, aside from body fakeness, right? Getting BBLs, getting a fake ass, whatever it is. Aside from that, a lot of people, there are men who have been incarcerated or are still incarcerated who have fake dolls, or this like makeshift doll, and present that doll in a female aesthetic, and well, fuck that doll. right? So what I'm saying is like we use non-sentient objects as if they're human beings, and we use them for our sexual pleasure. So this is not anything new. Just the AI version is just a new version that's with the times, but in different variations, people have indulged in their sexual pleasures with fake people, like non-sentient beings. It's like the weirdest thing. Anyway, I say all this to say, Tyla looks like an AI. I'm here to break the news. Tyla looks like an AI. She looks like a damn doll. Like, it's really weird how she doesn't look like a real person. And maybe when she gets older, you'll see more of that realness. I think it's because maybe her body is so natural looking, and I really don't think she has anything done. And that's really a testament to the times that we're in, right? Because a lot of times these artists have fake bodies. They have fake something, whether it's their breasts, their stomach, their fake ass abs, their ass. There's so many fake things on these female artists now that it's so astonishing. Astonishing, I tell ya, to see a woman with her physique, with her natural physique. And she's a pretty girl, but her physique is not of the quote unquote times that we're in, where it's this like va boom, and it's an obvious fake va boom, but it's a va boom nonetheless, and many men still drool over those bodies, you know? So yeah, I just find it very interesting that she looks like an AI. Anyway, so Tyla, she is from South Africa. Let's be very clear. She's from South Africa. And you know what I don't like about sometimes that a lot of us do, and I'm saying us like everyone listening is black. No, obviously. Shout out to all of my listeners, all lifestyle. Let's start with that. All lives matter. But the point is, I recognize that not everyone listening is of the same ethnic background, racial background. So that's totally fine. The point, what I'm saying is, a lot of times with black people, we like to claim someone being black when that is not probably how they identify. Okay? Meghan Markle conveniently claims herself as black, and sure, she has a black mother. But before we know her to be what she is, Prince Harry's wife, the princess now, right? Is she technically? Yes, she's technically a princess. Before we knew her to be that, no one knew of her. And if you watch Suits, sure, you probably, that face looks familiar. But were you really a Meghan Markle fan? Like, did you really follow her career? Did she really have a reputable career in the entertainment industry? No. So, like, all I know from her is that she was also one of the, not contestants, but like one of the girls, the model girls from that game show where they will hold briefcases and bet a couple of dollars. No, like millions of dollars. Anyway, no one knows her, okay? So when people saw her, it wasn't like, oh, we know her to be this black woman. It wasn't up until it was convenient for her to be black and to ride the wave of victimhood of being black in America, whatever the fuck, right? So, oh, you're black now, ma'am? Because before you weren't. Before, your last husband wasn't, right? Or, I mean, your current husband isn't either. But the point is, your last husband, I don't think, hold on, because she was married before. Meghan Markle ex, she was definitely married before. Okay? And her previous husband, so she was married before. Her previous husband is a white ass man. Okay? I'm not gonna say his name. I don't think he's in the industry either. Let's see. Well, yeah, technically he is. So he's a film producer. But he's totally white. Like a white. Okay? Nothing wrong with that. The point is, when she was with him, was she screaming about being a black victim? Was she screaming about the intricacies and the minor aggressions that the microaggressions that she experienced as a black woman in an interracial relationship with a white man? No, because we didn't know anything about her. So it wasn't profitable for her to do so then, right? Even if she was doing it, no one gave a fuck. Now, for her to be married to Prince Harry and to play on this role of, I didn't know he was the prince. I didn't know about the royal family and their colonialism history, racist ass. I didn't know about that. And I'm totally surprised that the queen wanted me to bow down to her. Ma'am, there's a protocol for everything. Stop acting like you booba the fool and you don't know the whole protocol to bowing down to a queen. Cut that shit out. Anyway, I say all that to say, a lot of black people took Meghan Markle in as like, oh, she's one of us. And I think there's this like obsession with black people who pass off as white and black people who are obviously black in accepting them as this like trophy, like, oh my gosh, look, we are worthy, we are beautiful, look at this black person who doesn't look like us but who is us. Oh my gosh, we gotta protect her. Like, that's really what it is. There's this obsession with that. Like, I remember growing up, being a dark-skinned girl, and obviously still a dark-skinned girl, but the point is, growing up, a lot of the girls around me, a lot of them were lighter toned. And I had a couple of dark-skinned girls around me also, but the point is, a lot of the lighter girls, they got more attention. They got more, like, they were put on a pedestal because of their light, bright features and their lighter texture, or even if their hair was kinky, it was cuter because it was on this lighter skinned girl. As for me with kinky hair in my dark skin, it's like, damn, bitch, can you get dressed? That's what it was. So it's just all freaking just racism. It's white supremacy. It's all that bullshit. Anyway, the point is Tyla. Tyla is from South Africa. Okay? She's known for her hit single, Water. And she has become the center of attention in a debate about blackness. Okay? Now, physically, we know her, or it appears that she may be mixed, right? But typically, when you're mixed, you're more likely mixed with black than anything else. Or there's black in your mixture. So, because of that one drop rule back in the day, a lot of people still carry that mindset. So, instantly, she was painted as, oh, black girl. This is a black girl. Let's ride for her. She's a black girl. Yet, Tyla doesn't identify as a black woman. Instead, she says, mind you, she is 21 years old, okay? She says that she considers herself to be colored. She calls herself a colored girl. And this is a term used in South Africa to classify those of mixed race. Tyla is of Indian, Zulu, Mauritian, and Irish descent. Hello? Is the mic on? She said specifically, nah. Here's what I am. I'm not one of those, I don't know my background. My ancestry only goes to South Carolina. No offense. I'm not one of those. I am of Indian, Zulu, Mauritian, and Irish descent. Address me as such, nigga. That's what she said. So I'm colored. And in America, colored has a negative connotation because of segregation days, right? When colored people was a preferred term to black people. And that was a time, right? That was a time, and it has changed over the years, right? So it's no longer colored people, but now it's people of color, which is, it's all bullshit. It's all fucking bullshit. Like, who cares? But the point is, she is saying colored, y'all need to miss me with that American racism shit, right? Miss me with the American racism, the history with that word, miss me, because I am from South Africa. I don't have the same historical background as y'all American blacks do. That's what she said. That's what she said. And in her words, that's what she said, basically. But yeah, she said she is colored. She does not identify as black. And this is the reason why. And of course, a lot of black people are having a hard time with that because of the one drop rule, being that she does have black in her. She should only identify as a black girl. And it's like, that is not fair for you to say. Let her identify as she wants, right? We get so caught up in the whole, well, if I'm a man, but address me with these pronouns of she, her, and all that bullshit, right? Okay, well, let's give the same respect to this young girl who is of colored distinction. She is of Indian, Zulu, Mauritian, and Irish descent. Respect her as such. And I just think it's fine. Like, no big deal. Okay, so what? Like, okay, thank you. That's fine. Like, okay, I'll address you accordingly. Let that be so. But now there's black people responding to this on Twitter talking about, okay, bet, got it. And it's said in such a, I know, like, in those, okay, that's short words, right? You may not realize the connotation behind that. But what that really means is, okay, bet. Okay, you're not black? All right, so we won't ride for you. We're not going to have your back. Whenever you get into some mess, we're not going to support you blindly. Nope, you don't identify as black. It's just like this dumb bullshit gatekeeper type of mess. When, no, recognize that the world is bigger than you. Like, literally, the world is bigger than your perspective, your specific history, or your shared history in a specific country. Not everyone of the same complexion as you, or even of the one drop rule complexion as you, have that same perspective or experience, right? So for her, yes, she has black in her, but she doesn't only have black in her. And she is very aware of the other parts of her makeup, right? She's aware of her Indian. She's aware of her Zulu. She's aware of it all. So let her stay in that. Like, it's okay to say, you know how a lot of, I'm watching this show called, or the season wrapped up already, Real Housewives of New York. And it has revamped its franchise because of the previous cast. It was a long time coming, but they decided to completely eradicate the old cast with new cast members, right? One of the women on the show, she is a black woman. She identifies as a black woman, but very obviously so, she appears as a mixed woman. You could tell there's white in her. And she talks a lot about her upbringing and how she was raised by her grandmother. And in her clips, you see that her grandmother is clearly a white woman, right? And so as she was growing up, she was disconnected from her black side of her family for various reasons. And she was kind of uncomfortable recognizing her blackness. But now in her adult age, she could comfortably say she's a black woman. Okay, cool. You can make up with that, right? That's great. That's great that you can identify as such, right? But you're also white. And I think we don't recognize, like, we also don't talk about that. Like, let's also say, yeah, I'm mixed. I'm black and white. Child, I'm not here to support mixed black women. Because of my history with lighter skinned black people being as skewed as it's been from my childhood and beyond, I am not here on this podcast supporting light skinned black women. I'm sorry. No, I'm still healing. It's a joke. But no, I mean, no, I think it's some truth to that. But the point is, I'm not trying to cake for y'all. I'm really not. But I can also recognize that we don't give people duality anymore. Like, we don't let people be both things at the same time. And it's pretty unfortunate, and it's actually pretty dense. It's dense that we can't even imagine you being multiple things at once. Now, the whole pronoun bullshit, I still can't. I'm not on that bandwagon at the fuck all. No, you are not a singular person and a plural person at the same time. I'm not calling you a they, them, or theirs. No, you're one being. But that's not what we're talking about right now. The point is, with black people who happen to be mixed, it's okay to recognize the mixedness of it all. Like, you don't only have to say I'm black. You could also say, yes, I'm black, but I'm also white. I'm mixed with Irish and Polish, and that, like, okay, that's totally fine. Like, stop, like, making people feel bad for what they have no control over. Like, I'm sorry, my parents decided to date and fuck and had me, and they happen to be one white and one black. Like, what? It's totally foolish. But anyway, shout out to Tyla, her AI ass. Finally, let's get to our final topic here. There is this white woman who was pulled over recently for driving while intoxicated. And as she is pulled over, she is giving this police officer a hard time. And she attempts to tell the police officer, I'm actually going through generational trauma, and I have generational trauma towards white men. And she's giving all these damn, like, hot button words to use in this day and age, right? To, like, have sympathy for me. I'm an indigenous folk, right? Basically indicating that she's non-binary. So as she obviously appears as a woman, she's a natural woman, but she is presenting, well, she's telling him she's non-binary. Therefore, please don't say she or her or ma'am, because the officer is naturally saying, step right here, ma'am. Whatever, right? So he's doing what he needs to do as an officer, and she is giving every excuse to tell him, hey, please, I have generational trauma, and she's trying to get out of it. It's just so funny to me, like, wow, first of all, you're in the wrong. I don't give a fuck about your generational trauma. I don't give a fuck about it right now. You are driving while under the influence, and that's not okay. It's not okay. And Tiffany Haddish, what the fuck is going on with you? I feel so sorry that she is clearly failing right before our eyes. Something is up with her. I wish her well. I've enjoyed her over the years since she's become Tiffany Haddish, right, to all of us. But I don't know what has been happening with her. It's been in recent years. She hasn't been on the right side of things. Like, you could tell mentally she's off. I know she's talked about her childhood and things that she's experienced prior in many interviews. So I'm very aware of how she was raised and how she may have things that she needs to work through. But there is absolutely no excuse to drive while drunk. There's none. You're not in the right headspace, of course, and I don't think anyone goes into, maybe there are some people who do that. But I just think at some point, it's one thing to do it once. It's very foolish of you to do that. Oh my gosh, you could have put someone else's life in danger. All of that are just very strong reasons why you should avoid doing that. But to do it again, just recently, Tiffany Haddish has been arrested for driving while under the influence. And this is the second time in a short amount of time from the last time this happened. And I just think it's very unfortunate more than that, but it's just very disturbing that she is in this life path right now. I hope she finds help and just gets better, but this is really unfortunate. All right, you guys, I'll end it here. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate every listen. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. Leave a positive review on all of the platforms as well as YouTube. And I will check in with you all in a couple of weeks. Remember, next week, at the time of this recording, if you're listening to this episode on time, December 1st, next week, we will not have new episodes because I am preparing for our Podmas series starting on December 12th. We will have one episode every day for 12 days starting December 12th. So I will see you all then, and there may be some changes. So look forward to that coming up, and I will check in with you all then. Thank you so much for listening. Have a good one. Blessed. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of God Built This Podcast with your host, Maxine. If you liked it, leave a review, share, and subscribe. God bless.